So you want more health, wealth, and success in your life? What if you've been doing it wrong this entire time? What if all the advice that you've been getting from your favorite productivity gurus, success coaches, and life advice influencers has been dead wrong? That'd be a pretty bitter pill to swallow, huh? Well, in this video, I want to share 12 counterintuitive habits for how you can enjoy more health, wealth, and success in your life that probably aren't what you think. These ideas might just be the pattern interrupt you've been looking for. Curious to know what they are? Let's dive in. So number 1, rate your partner. No, I don't mean rate how they look out of 10. Start measuring how are you doing as a partner and give your partner the same feedback in kind. You know, one of the biggest challenges with how we view relationships is based on what Alain de Botton, the author and creator of the School of Life, would refer to as the failure of romanticism, which is a philosophy of love that sets out this unrealistic and quite simply unattainable bar for what success in relationships looks like. Now, romanticism is a philosophy or a movement that was pioneered by poets and writers of the 18th century, and is based on this premise that to experience true love is to meet a person out there, somewhere in the wide world, who is your soulmate. Someone who, when you first lay eyes on this person, your soul fuses with theirs in an explosion of connection and meaning and this divine purpose. Now, the challenge with this notion, it just isn't what being in a relationship with someone for an extended period of time is like. Romanticism sets up the notion that your partner, your true soulmate, should instinctively know what you're thinking, what you're needing, what you're wanting, with very little to no instruction from you. The problem with this premise, no matter how well you know your partner, you're just not a mind reader. In fact, as a human being, you're probably pretty terrible at interpreting what your partner is actually saying to you half the time anyway, let alone reading their every thought and desire. So instead of relying on this romantic notion, start asking your partner what they need and whether you're doing a good job of providing it. You know, since my wife and I met, we've been doing a monthly scorecard where we scorecard each other against 5 important needs or values that we each have in our relationship, and we rate one another on how we're doing and provide suggestions for how we could improve. Now, giving helpful, thoughtful, and useful feedback to your partner not only makes you a better communicator, it ensures your partner knows how to give you what you truly need as well. Okay, number 2, read fewer books. All the smartest people that you know have read all the great business books and self-help books and finance books out there, right? Wrong. You know, some of the wealthiest and smartest people that I know might only read a handful of books a year, if any at all. The truth is, in a sea of books in the world, there are only a very small percentage that are worth reading and that will personally change your life for years or decades to come. Now, instead of focusing on just-in-case information, focus on just-in-time information. Don't read for the sake of reading to simply acquire new knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Consume information that is highly relevant for solving the biggest challenges or problems that you're facing in life right now. And when you do, choose from the classics or the greats, not the latest New York Times bestseller or internet marketing fad. If the book was written 50 years ago or even 2,000 years ago and is still popular as ever today, it's probably a sign it will introduce you to timeless truths and wisdom that your latest and greatest marketing book simply won't. Does that mean today's latest bestsellers are rubbish? No, not necessarily. But it's also far less likely that you'll refer back to them in 50 years as one of the books that changed your life. Now, if you read something written 50 years ago that is still changing people's lives today, then you have a much higher probability that book will do the same thing for you too. Okay, number 3, chase discomfort. I want you to think of a time when you achieved a great victory in your life. I'm not talking about hitting 100,000 in revenue one month or some success milestone like that. I mean something that you were really proud to achieve. Something that required a high degree of courage or determination, perseverance, and things like grit in order to do it. Can you think of that? Now, I don't know anything about you, what that victory may be, but here's what I do know for certain. No matter what it was, to achieve that victory required you to move through a significant amount of discomfort in order to achieve it, correct? Therefore, the moral of this story is that if you want to achieve more victories in your life, then seek out more discomfort in order to achieve them. As the great Roman emperor and stoic Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Okay, principle number 4, buy more coffees out. Want to save and invest more money? Then you shouldn't waste it on buying $10 coffees from Starbucks or whatever hipster hole-in-the-wall cafe that you like to frequent, right? Wrong. But not because I think those coffees aren't really expensive. They are, but they're worth every penny. Why is that? Well, if you're anything like most people, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you stumble over to your coffee maker or kettle and you make a pot of hot coffee first thing in the morning. Now, this is a terrible idea for two reasons. Drinking coffee immediately after waking actually disrupts your body's natural cortisol rhythm upon waking, an essential hormone for creating the feeling of being alert and awake in the morning. Now, according to Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman, waiting 90 minutes before consuming caffeine helps preserve your natural cortisol pattern, promoting better sleep and wakefulness. So why buy coffee out? What it does is it forces you to walk outside and move your body. Not only does this kickstart metabolism and autophagy, but it brings you into morning light, and it tells your body to suppress melatonin and increase cortisol and serotonin, both essential hormones for having a productive and an energetic day. Okay, number 5, argue on paper, not in person. Have you ever had that situation where you say something really kind of mean and nasty to someone that you love and you almost immediately regret it? There's a notion that's been popularized in today's culture to express every idea, thought, and thing that you feel into the world. Whenever you have a feeling or an emotion that it's unhealthy to keep it to yourself, that you should be free to share your truth with the world. I'm sorry to say, but it's bullshit. Here's why. Because we all have unconscionable feelings and silly ideas that roll through our heads all the time. Maybe you were tired that day, or hungry, or pissed off about something someone said to you on the train, or you were frustrated by what your partner or your mother did earlier that day. Maybe you felt jealous or envious of that arsehole on social media that just seems to be living the most amazing life all the time despite being a douchebag. Instead of blurting out everything and anything that's on your mind, write down what you want to say on paper first. This is particularly useful when you feel like getting into an argument with someone. Make your argument on paper first. Not only will this give you time to cool down, it will help you look at the situation more logically and develop greater empathy and understanding and compassion for why the other person said or did the thing in the first place. Okay, number 6, take more time off. Work hard, hustle, grind. These have been the mantras of the 2020s. When I was in my 20s, I was a disciple of them as well. I worked 12-hour days, often on weekends, and hustled as hard as I could until I could hustle no more. And guess what? By the time I got to the end of my 20s, I was miserable, I was depressed, jaded because of it. Don't get me wrong, right? I love working hard, and I recognize that hard work laid the foundation for the success I experienced later in life today. But truthfully, it didn't actually generate the results people have you believe it does. Now, what did for me? Strangely enough, it was taking more time off. Some of the most insightful and profoundly transformative moments in my life came from traveling the world, going to new places, meeting new people, immersing myself in foreign and novel situations. From plant medicine ceremonies in the Amazon jungle, to silent meditation retreats in the middle of nowhere, to invite-only VIP dance parties in LA, to eclectic music and art festivals in the Sierra Nevada desert. These experiences unlocked a new level of insight, desire, and a capacity far greater than anything I'd experienced being stuck behind my computer screen for 12 hours a day. Maybe you don't need to work harder. Maybe you just need to take a sabbatical instead. It might just be the thing that gives you the courage or the sign you've been waiting to receive. Okay, goof off more. Being a leader in business, kind of easy. There's a million books, podcasts, and thought leaders sharing their insights on how to do it, right? You probably spend more than 70% of your waking hours dedicated to becoming that. But being a leader socially, that's a lot harder. Too often we wait for the friend to call or text us with the invitation to go out and do something. And our ego loves getting invitations from others to the party, to the brunch, to the weekend away, and how much they would love us to be there. But it's a lot harder to make those invitations and be the leader of these social events. The question's why? Rejection. It's quite likely as you make those invites, your friend's going to be busy, or they're already going to some other fun event that you weren't invited to. Or maybe they just simply ghost you, too busy doing their own thing. Right? Dealing with this rejection is hard. It can be painful, especially if we take it personally. But on the other side of that rejection is acceptance and belonging. It's the small group of people that do gratefully and gladly accept your invitation. On the other side of that rejection, my friend, is social leadership. Becoming a social leader within your friendship circles isn't easy. It's a great responsibility, but with great responsibility comes great reward. Over time, you will be seen not only as a good friend, but as the source of friendship for both friends and friends alike. Okay, next, don't write down your goals. Draw pictures of them instead. You might be the kind of person that likes to write down their goals and keep track of them in a goal setting app. But the reality is goals written down on paper is kind of closer to a to-do list than a set of inspiring outcomes we're working towards in life. Instead of writing down a list of goals, turn them into a picture instead. More than 60% of your memory is devoted to recalling imagery of what you've seen or imagery you've associated to the words you've read. Your brain can process images 60,000 times faster than text. By contrast, you'll recall 10% of what you read or hear. For over 10 years, I've been turning my goal list into an inspiring vision board that visually maps my goals into a one-page canvas, and I have it hanging on my office wall. Yeah, of course, it's simply words arranged into a picture, I get it. But this visual canvas is something I look at every day, and I have this mental image of it in my mind. It serves to connect me emotionally and cognitively to the important goals I'm working towards in my life. Turning your goals into a beautifully designed poster or vision board like this will do the same thing for you too. Okay, idea number 9, take more drugs. You want to feel good? Drugs are the answer. No, I don't mean illicit street drugs. That would be a terrible idea. I'd never endorse them. I mean, start producing more of the drugs that naturally run through your bloodstream all the time. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. These are the feel-good chemicals or hormones that are powering your body and mind on a daily basis. And you can do things within your control daily in order to enhance them. So what is dopamine? Dopamine is the reward chemical. It comes when we receive a reward minus the expectation of that reward. So for example, it's the excess between what happened and what we expected to happen. If you get a compliment you didn't expect today, that's dopamine. Make a sale you weren't expecting, that's dopamine. Receive an unexpected invitation, you guessed it, that is dopamine. A surefire way to get more healthy dopamine in your life is proportionate to the value you create and effort you put in. Creating unexpected value for others is going to lead to unexpected rewards for you in kind. Now, oxytocin is the love drug. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. Have more sex, be vulnerable and express yourself and a difficult feeling. All of these things lead to more oxytocin flowing through your veins. Serotonin is the achievement hormone. Want more serotonin? Well, stop waiting for the final destination to celebrate. Acknowledge and celebrate the little steps of progress you make along the way. The little wins often matter more than the big ones. They signal to the body to keep going. And finally, there's endorphins. These are the stress relief chemicals. Laughter, crying, intense exercise, all these things send endorphins rushing through you and regulate your nervous system in really healthy ways. So don't listen to what your parents told you about drugs. Start creating these natural chemicals for yourself every day. Okay, number 10, take better care of your plants. No, I didn't say your parents, I said your plants. Now, obviously taking care of your parents is very important, but so is taking care of your plants. Whether you live in a 50 square foot apartment in Manhattan, New York City, or you're on 10 acres in Spokane and Washington State, staying close to nature is a humbling experience. The beautiful thing about taking care of plants is they need very few inputs in order for the magic of nature and life to just silently do its thing in the background. A little water, a little sunlight, some soil, and a few nutrients. Your plants really are a reflection of your own inner landscape. If you're struggling to find time to take care of them, you're stressed, you're out of whack, what does it say about your ability to take care of yourself? Now this might sound woo-woo, but nurturing plants is a simple and a beautiful meditation on the nature of the universe and the impermanence and the rejuvenation of all things in it. If your plant is down to its last leaf, a little care, a little attention can mean it can thrive once again one day. And guess what? The same is true for you. Okay, number 11, make your bed every day. So here's the real key to success. Start making your bed every day. No, seriously, you should do it. Why? This simple act of discipline is a powerful way to start your day. No matter what chaos or turmoil your day is about to bring, this one exercise in self-discipline sets the tone for how you approach the rest of your day. And if everything goes to shit, you have order to come back to for the evening to reset your body and mind for a new day ahead. Finally, idea number 12, forget self-reliance, start relying more on others. Self-reliance is kind of overrated. I mean, could Napoleon have been as powerful without his armies? Is Elon Musk personally putting the fuel in his rockets and screwing on every rivet in order to send satellites up into space? Nothing great was ever achieved in isolation. You need to surround yourself with a team, people that believe in your vision, and they want to rally behind you to be part of the mission that you're on. In order to become great, you cannot rely on yourself alone. It takes an army of soldiers to conquer the kingdom and a commander to lead them. Be the inspiring leader and build an army of followers around you. Okay, that's it. So, what do you think? Did some of these ideas get you thinking differently about how to achieve more health, wealth, and success in your own life? I hope so. Thanks so much for your attention and support. I really appreciate it. And if you liked this video, I've just got one simple request. To show me that you like these videos and you want more of them like this, I humbly ask you subscribe to the channel. It helps these videos get seen, which of course helps me know to make more of them. So if you want to keep diving deeper, tap the next video here from me, and I'll see you in the next one.